We've talked before about how the post-Trump Dr. Anthony Fauci is sort of a new Dr. Fauci, who both feels that the pandemic is being managed more competently and feels that he can simply stick to medical advice without having to kind of calculate what he says from the standpoint of whether the administration will like it or won't they like it. That's a different Dr. Fauci than we saw during the Trump administration. And Dr. Fauci was interviewed yesterday on CNN and went right at one of the most notable, it's not even really a hypocrisy, it's really a contradiction by the American right wing on the pandemic. They want everything to be over, but they refuse to do the things that will accelerate the end of the pandemic. They want to go back to normal, but they couldn't even avoid bars and big parties for a few months in 2020. And of course, they're saying open everything now. It's time to end everything from a social perspective. But now they don't want to get vaccinated. I told you last week, 43% of Republicans say they don't want the vaccine and they don't plan to get it unless for some reason they have no choice. So Dr. Fauci was asked about it yesterday on CNN. He calls it like it is. He explains that the people who most claim to want everything to be over are actually making it go longer by their opposition to the vaccine and their other actions. Take a look.
A new poll this week shows that 43% of Republicans still don't want to get the vaccine. How frustrating is this for you, Dr. Fauci?
You know, Dana, it is quite frustrating because the fact that one may not want to get vaccinated, in this case, a disturbingly large proportion of Republicans, only actually works against where they want to be. They want to be able to say these restrictions that are put on by public health recommendations are things that they're very concerned about. We're all concerned about that. We share that concern. But the way you get rid of those restrictions is to get as many people vaccinated as quickly and as expeditiously as possible, because when that happens, for absolutely certain, you're going to see the level of virus in the community go down and down and down to the point where you would not have to have those public health restrictions. So it's almost paradoxical that on the one hand, they want to be relieved of the restrictions, but on the other hand, they don't want to get vaccinated. It just almost doesn't make any sense.
Paradoxical is exactly the right word to apply to this situation. Now, it's also hopeless for Dr. Fauci to expect these very people to go and get the vaccine. Dr. Fauci wants the people who are against abortion but don't want easier access to contraception to realize that they could end the pandemic sooner if they got vaccinated. And this exists a ton on the right. We are against abortion no matter what. Okay, great. Well, let's reduce demand for abortions. To do that, we prevent unwanted pregnancy. Well, what prevents unwanted pregnancy? Access to contraception, comprehensive sex ed. Oh, but they're also against that. What? It's the exact same thing. Dr. Fauci said it almost doesn't make any sense. I would remove the word almost. It just doesn't make any sense. And very little, we're going to talk later about this actually, very little of the modern Republican Party makes any sense. It's not just their position on ending the pandemic. If you want to talk about other things that make no sense, consider the big picture on vaccines from these people. The virus isn't serious. It's just like the flu. So everything can stay open. But Trump is developing a vaccine, which he deserves credit for, which they're not going to take anyway. But he'd better get the credit for it, even though we don't need it, and they won't take it, and the pandemic's not serious anyway. Well, then hold on a second. Then why is it that Trump's a hero for developing the vaccine you won't take and don't need? And by the way, what is pro-life about their positions on any of these things? They don't want to get the vaccine nor wear a mask, but they want to end the pandemic. Our patience for this nonsense should be very, very low. And I've said this before, and it's maybe a good point to end on. Rights come with responsibilities. I have an entire YouTube segment about this that you can find. To just go around demanding rights, absent and completely ignoring the responsibilities that come with them, is not a recipe for a well-functioning society. And unfortunately, we're going to have to go around them or through them in order to fix this situation. They're not going to work with us. And that's maybe the worst part of all of it, because people who are doing the right things are still going to suffer. Let me know your thoughts. You can find me on Twitter at @Pakman. One of our sponsors today is BlueBlocks. I spend a lot of time because of my work looking at a computer screen, and peer-reviewed studies have shown that the blue light that comes from screens can actually lead to certain types of eye strain and even damage or blurred vision, headaches, dry, watery eyes. BlueBlocks fixes this by filtering out the blue light. And unlike other cheap blue light glasses, the effectiveness of BlueBlocks glasses are backed up by evidence, and they're built under optics laboratory conditions. These are my BlueBlocks glasses. I like how they look. They have over 40 different styles to choose from. I really have noticed a big difference where I'm no longer getting that eye strain and headaches from the computer screen because of the BlueBlocks glasses. They have prescription versions and non-prescription and readers. They have something for every need, and BlueBlocks is giving you 20% off when you go to blueblocks.com/Pakman and use the code Pakman. The link is under this video, and you'll get free shipping on orders over $115.